problem with knitting flat. You put all this effort and time into knitting, but you're not done. You then have to sew the bally thing together. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Gemma and I'm coming to you as always from my home in Devon. It is Saturday the 2nd of August, which means Christmas in July is finished and we are now enjoying, in theory, all the summer makes. So I've got lots and lots to share with you. Incidentally, it's also a year tomorrow, the 3rd of August, 7 years tomorrow, the 3rd of August, since I uploaded my very first podcast, and it's been quite a journey. The 7-year anniversary in a wedding is wool. I will not be treating myself to any wool, but I do have lots of woolly goodness to share with you over the coming videos. Thank you to everyone who's joined my subscribers since my last video. There's been quite a few of you decide that you want to stick around and enjoy the chaos, and I'm very pleased to have you here. And as always, thank you to my returning viewers for coming back. It means more than you know. Okay, I've got no idea whether I'm going to get this video recorded in one hit or not. We are currently waiting for some friends to arrive from the Midlands. So a friend that I met when I was 13 at school, and we've been friends ever since, but live very far away from each other now, and we see each other approximately once every 5 years. So now this time we each have children and we're going to get them all together, and it's just going to be chaos and fun and wonderful. But I've got a little bit of time before the first part of that cohort arrives, because they're coming in 2 parts. So I thought I'd give this a little bit of a go. So let's start with a finished object, shall we? Because I have a hoe to share with you. And this is my first finished Christmas sock. This is head over heels. I can't remember what it's called now. It does have a Christmassy name, but this one is for me. Check the sparkle. I mean, oh my goodness, so much sparkle. So that's there for you to see as well. And I've just done standard vanilla sock pattern. It was okay to knit with. It was fairly splodge free. I really like how the cuff and the entirety of the heel and heel turn have ended up in the sparkly red. My one thing is I wish that the toe had been, maybe I'd started the toe decreases at the start of the red. I think it still would have fit nicely, and then I wouldn't have had the dark bit on the toe, but that's just personal preference and vanity. To be fair, I've also cast on the second sock without worrying about colour matching in the slightest. So the second one, you can see the rib starts with this here. So they're not going to be matchy. I might make this one into my husband's sock, because then we'll know by the cuffs whose is whose. Perhaps that might be a good idea. So there we are. Ho, ho, ho. I have another finished object for you. So the sock and this one were both finished in July, and that does mean there's another one coming up as well. This is my son's second flannel. It's just a garter stitch on the bias flannel here with a crocheted hook to hang it up to dry with, using that little cotton. It's the same as I showed you last time. I haven't weighed it yet. I think it's probably about 10-15 grams of yarn perhaps, and I've got enough in the ball to make at least another one, and it's a 50-gram skein, so, or 50-gram ball. So there we go. So there is that one as well. So just to go through stash down statistics, last week I shared with you I'd finished a pair of socks at 56 grams, a hat at 100 grams, given 250 grams away, which takes us up to 406 grams. And I think this is about 15. Let's call it 14 just because the maths is easier then. So that's 420 grams of yarn out. I did bring the 100 grams for the hat in as well. So technically I've got to say 420 grams out, 100 grams in, leaving me an overall decrease for July of 320 grams, which is not a bad start. There we are. We're going to ignore the fact that I have over 10 times that to get rid of. Right, I do have another finished object for you. So this is my first finish for August. I literally finished the bind off as I was sat here in front of the camera, like just frantically trying to do it. And I absolutely love this, although something very peculiar has gone on with the rib and I can't figure out what. So I will be interested to hear your thoughts. But here we are. Here it is. This is my finished Land of Sweets cowl. You can see it's much wider at one end than the other, even though the cast on stitches are the same. It is as yet unblocked and there are a few ends to weave in, although if I turn it that way for you, you should be able to see that I carry the yarn that I'm adding across. So actually all I need to do for most of these is just snip them and that will be fine. I've just got a couple of ends to weave in. If you've seen the Lands of Sweets cowl, so this is a pattern by Helen Stewart, also known as Curious Handmade, and it was from her Knit Vent 2019 collection. So every October, I think, she releases, or it could be November, she releases a series of patterns designed to be kind of advent knits, knit in the run up to Christmas. Some of them make gifts, some of them are for the home, some of them are designed to use mini skeins from advent calendars, and it's lovely. And I was given the Knit Vent 2019 a number of years ago now. And if you've seen it, you'll know that actually it's a lot bigger than this and a lot more complex than this. It's designed for 24 mini skeins and is very, very long. Whereas I have only used 11 mini skeins in this one. And I'll tell you for why. It's as I was knitting it, and it is such a joy to knit. There's 150 stitches and each 8 rows is a different pattern repeat, and it's blocks of joy, to be honest with you. It does need a good blocking, as you can see. I keep pulling at it. But as I was knitting it, I thought, do you know what? My mum would, is that tied off properly? Yeah, my mum would absolutely love this. And because of the yarn that Emma and her daughter so generously gave me, I have that much left of every skein. And if I can't find one to show you, a whole one to show you, because my last one is in this form. It's taken approximately 4 grams for each stripe of yarn. I haven't weighed this yet, so I can't tell you, but I've still got most of the mini skein left. So what I've decided to do in my little Christmas lights box is make a second one for me using all 24 colours. So I will repeat the 12 colours from the advent that Emma and her daughter gave me for my one. And this one I decided to finish obviously significantly early, but I also only used 11 mini skeins because you start with rib, plain, texture, plain, lace, 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 plain, texture, plain. It made sense to then stop at rib so that it's mirrored. And so, yeah, I bound it off this morning and it's been an absolute joy to knit. I love this yarn. I can't remember, I have to look back in the Christmas card where the yarn is from. It's all the same pretty much, I think, Emma said. Sorry, I've got itchy nose now from all the fluff. I love that lace in the middle. And because it's a cowl, my mum has Parkinson's disease. Hang on. There we are. Oh, so my mum has Parkinson's disease and she has arthritis. And oh God, look at that. Mum, you're going to be so lucky to get this, I tell you. You might not get it. It is gorgeous, isn't it? A scarf has a safety concern for my mum because her kinesthesia is so bad that she just moves involuntarily all the time and could easily strangle herself with one. And also the physicality of putting one on and keeping it on comfortably is another consideration. And also by stopping at 11 rather than doing the full 24, she varies between being cold because she's lost lots of weight and being really warm because she's constantly on the move. So this is just a little bit of something that will keep her cozy about the neck. It's not too high up around her neck, so when she's moving around, she's not gonna catch herself in it, and it's not going to feel uncomfortable or restrictive. And I think the colours she'll really love. Now, I never considered my mum to be particularly knit worthy because she never really showed an interest in anything that I was making, and she always knit for herself as well. But I gave her the habitation throw that I made using For the Love of Yarns Advent that I finished last year, and she loves it. When she was in hospital, she had it with her. She's always got it with her, and that is just so hugely moving to me that I just want to give her all the things that I know she'll love. And I think she'll love this. I'm going to take it off because it is still summer and it's quite warm. But the colour's beautiful. And what's lovely is that that's done, ready for her. And I've got enough colours, enough of the yarn left to do the complete Land of Sweets cowl for me. And I will have the full one, which is just, it's so, so special. And that will be my Advent project this year. So I'll cast that on in December. So you won't see this again. You won't see a repeat of the pattern immediately. It's not going to be like the Curse of the Vanilla Sock. But I absolutely love it. I don't know which way I love it up best, actually. Quite like that way as well. So yeah, there it is. That's the Land of Sweets cowl. The Land of Sweets cowl, and I haven't weighed it yet, but I will weigh it. It needs a good blocking, and I will report back to you with that one. Okay, so on to works in progress. You've obviously seen that I've cast on the second sock for my Christmas socks, or my husband's Christmas socks, one of them. So I'm going to do a pair for me, a pair for my husband. And Robin has said he wants a pair, but he stopped wearing his hand knit socks. So I don't know. I'll make them, and then he can either have them or they'll just become Christmas decorations or something like that. In terms of works in progress, I have put significant dent onto my niece's Christmas dress. This is the Arrowhead tunic, and I'm working it in West Yorkshire Spinner's signature 4-ply, which I usually use for socks, but it's lovely for garments as well, in the age 2 to 4. There it is. It is actually, it doesn't look like it's grown much, but it has grown quite significantly since the last time you saw it. I think it was about here, and it's now down here. I'm in the stage where it's just stocking stitch in the round and increases every 2 centimetres. So it's perfect to pick up and put down knitting, TV knitting. And I will be plugging away at this at home. Because it is summer, and obviously I'm spending a lot of my time with my son, which I love, I need things that I can just pick up and do a few stitches on here and there and not really have to worry. So plain stocking stitch is perfect, and I think this will be a perfect summer companion project for me. But there's the progress on that. As I said, it is August, so Christmas in July for me is kind of ended. I'm in a bit of a pickle because what I can't do is just drop everything that I started for Christmas, because otherwise it will get to November and I'll be in the same situation as I am every year. However, I really want to move on to the summer knits. And this is in the middle of the row because I was trying to do this while I was with my son and I had to just keep dropping it. Is it in the middle or near the beginning or near the? It's kind of in the middle. No, it's near the end actually. Right, never mind. You can get more of an idea of what it's going to be like this because it's all cinched up and on the needles anyway. But this is the Emmanuel tee. It's beautiful. I think this is more like a worsted or chunky cotton, to be fair, than a DK, which is what's called for, but I don't mind. I think it's going to look great. You can see the lace panel on the back that I'm really enjoying. And I'm about 15 rows shy of closing the V-neck at the front. Now I wonder, these needles aren't long enough, I don't think, for me to do this properly. Ooh. No, that's not going to work. It needs to be on waste yarn or something. Hang on, take it off hopefully without losing any stitches. I lost one. Got it back. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm about 15 rows shy of closing the V at the front. And although this does seem to be a chunky yarn, I don't think that's going to be too big. I think it's going to be fine. The problem I've got at the moment is that you increase 8 stitches every other row. And so it's getting exponentially bigger, which means every row is taking so much longer to knit. So I put quite a significant bit of work into this the other day. I did maybe 15 rows and it took me 2 or 3 days to get that far. But I am loving it. So the fabric is really nice. I can't tell you much about it. It's a kind of generic big batch cotton, not branded or labelled, that a friend gave me that she had from somewhere. And I really do, as I said before, like that lace panel on the back. I think this is going to become a bit of a wardrobe staple for me. I also really like the colour. So yeah, there's that. The final work in progress I've got to show you is, because I'm being a very dutiful knitter, is the sleeve of the hopscotch hoodie. As you can see, I've done the rib and I'm working on the sleeve increases at the moment. I've had a bit of a trouble with the pattern because you start on a right side row and you increase at each end of third, which would put you on a knit row, and then every following fifth row, which means you'd be increasing on a purl row. So I don't like doing that. And I haven't found any errata for the pattern. So I've taken a liberty and I'm doing it on every sixth because, I mean, he's older anyway, so a bit of a longer sleeve won't be a problem. What matters is I've got the right stitch count when it comes to doing the sleeve cap and setting in the sleeves at the end, because there's a hell of a lot of sewing up involved in this one. What have I signed up for? The knitting. This is the problem with knitting flat. You put all this effort and time into knitting, but you're not done. You then have to sew the bally thing together. Oh, so frustrating. So frustrating. So there we go. But I'm making progress. And again, now I've got the Land of Sweets cowl finished, there should be some nice progress happening on this as well over the next week or so. So that's it. We've got through it. We've got through my... Oh, no, hang on. I've got 2 more finished objects to share with you. The first one I don't have with me because it has been stolen by my son. I did do a bonus video that came out on Wednesday sharing my experience making the first Search Press amigurumi kit, and the finished object, I'll try and put some photos or a little bit of B-roll in here, is this little octopus, and he's so cute and he was so much fun to make and I could do it. I managed to do it, and amigurumi is something that has just inspired and baffled me in equal measures for years. I've wanted to do it, but I can't read my crochet I can't read my crochet sufficiently to be able to do it, and I struggle with the 2D 3D thing. I can't conceptualize how something flat becomes something 3-dimensional. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. And my other finished object that I will share with you, I'm not going to share today because I've got a bonus video coming out this week as well, a sewing project from start to finish. And I have finished sewing the little pinafore dress for my niece, and I even found the buttons on my travels for Search Press on Thursday. So I need to cut the buttonholes open, sew the buttons on, and then she's completely done. I'm ready to give to my little niece in time for the last of the summer weather. I can see my guests coming down the path, so I'm going to wrap this up. I know it's been short and sweet, but I hope you've enjoyed it. Your code word for today is fun. What is bringing you fun and joy this summer? Can be knitting or crochet related, can be anything related. I've really been enjoying your comments in the last few videos, and I'm very much looking forward to continuing the conversation. Take care. Bye.